everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I am bundled up because it's freezing. It's snowing. I just had about a foot of snow in the last week and it is well below zero. So we are all bundled up today, but today I wanted to talk about using what you have. So I've done a couple of other videos on my channel kind of around this topic, but I like to talk about it every kind of winter during Vlogmas because it's always kind of an ongoing goal for me is using what I have. And there's a lot of examples of this, but there's also a lot of reasons why people kind of latch on to this idea. So I wanted to talk about a few things that I've been doing. I try to leave notes on my phone for the next time I do a video like this of things that I've been doing and just that come to mind. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk about my personal motivations for using what I have. Some common ones I think a lot of people can relate to include, having the gratitude, being thankful for what I have, respecting what I have, using it, whether it's something I bought, whether it's something that was gifted to me, or, like a hand-me-down. That's definitely one. Another avenue of that is consumption driven. So a lot of people have really embraced reusable type things and cutting down on single-use products. I also feel like I'm ready to tap the brakes and bring less into my home. Which I'm going to talk a lot more about next year. But that's kind of one reason for me as well. And of course, financially, I would prefer not to spend money on things that I already have or always buying new when I have another solution that would work, right? Like I can save more for other goals of mine and, like the future and all of those good things. So those are kind of three big reasons, I would say, like overarching themes for using what you have. There are plenty more, of course. I would love to hear if you are interested in this concept of use what you have. What are your main driving factors of why? I'd love to hear from you in the comment section so we can spark a little bit of conversation. But let me go in to my notes here on my phone and talk through some of the things that I've been doing that have helped me think about using what you have as this theme. So the first one, I just wrapped some Christmas gifts that I'm really excited to give. And I think I've spoken about this before, but I'm trying really hard to buy wrapping paper and gift bags that aren't specific. So they're not saying happy birthday or Merry Christmas on them. They are like in, a pretty pattern, but they're generalized. So I've been getting into that. I definitely am also more into gift bags because, if I give it to someone else, then they can use that same gift bag and keep giving it. Whereas the paper, you rip through it, or even if you save it, it's like a specific size. And I'm just much more into the gift bags these days, and they're easier to wrap. But those are just a couple of things that came to mind when I was wrapping gifts was, I'm able to reuse the same bags and they aren't occasion specific. They are usually a pattern or a color that can, go a lot of different ways. So that's something that I like to keep in mind. Another thing that I just did was an inventory. So beauty products. I love beauty products. I talk about beauty products on my channel a lot. I know a lot of people can tend to collect beauty products pretty quickly and they can just multiply and it can get out of hand. It is taking me years to work through the stash I used to, do the Bath and Body Works hauls. I used to just have this crazy shopping addiction. I went into a lot of debt buying, expensive makeup. I had to have every palette and every lipstick, and I have been down that road, and it took me a while to get out of it, but then to actually use what I have has also taken a while. I'm still kind of leaving that phase of makeup I bought, a few years ago that I'm working through. So that is something I've learned is how long it can take me to go through products. But the other thing is taking the inventory. So I have a video of this. I just pulled everything out of my closets, laid it all out on the bed, and it was eye-opening to see it all in one place because I'm the person that keeps, a lip balm over there and a lotion over there, and I kind of have things scattered. So to see it all together in a pile was crazy because I'm thinking, oh, I don't have that much stuff. And then seeing it, and I know compared to other people, I don't have as much as others, but still it's a lot of things. And so doing inventories, and this could be, I do an inventory of my pantry, of my spice cabinet, because I tend to think at the grocery store, oh, I wonder if I have cinnamon. I should just get some. And then the next thing you know, I have 4 unopened jars of cinnamon. So now I need to start eating cinnamon with everything because I have it. But having that really quickly in a spreadsheet, I just have a list of things and then I put like the count 1, 2, 3 or whatever in a spreadsheet, and I can pull it up on my phone. So when I'm grocery shopping, I know, okay, I already have 2 packages of chicken breast at home. I don't need any more. Or actually I did run out of cumin. I can buy more, whatever. But inventories have really been helping me. I think for me, it's more about the areas that I'm focusing on minimizing, as well as the areas that I know I can overspend or just not think about, like mindlessly spend in. So those are the ones. There's plenty of other things like clothing for me. I really don't feel like I need an inventory, and shoes, and I just don't feel like I need that. But for other categories of my pantry, like my beauty stuff, I do feel like I need to keep an inventory to keep me kind of in check of what I already have. And it's a good reminder when I'm feeling impulsive that I can pull those up. Okay, my next one. There will often be times when I'm organizing that I will think, oh, I just need to go get this specific sized container or this certain jar or a vase or whatever. And then it'll be great. And I always kind of start there. Oh, I'll go get one. I'll go get another bin from the Dollar Tree, or I'll just run to Target and get this. Trying to stop myself midway and think, okay, what is it that I'm organizing? And then, it's papers or pens or nail polish or whatever it is, right? And then I say, okay, so that gives me a frame of reference of the rough size of something I may need to organize. But then I try to reframe it, and I don't need that one specific cute, organizer. I actually just need something that contains this. And maybe I want it to have a lid, maybe it doesn't need to have a lid. And when I can kind of put a list of the criteria of what I'm looking for, so it's a box that can hold papers, that size, and it has a lid so that I can stack things on top of it, then I think, okay, what do I have that has a lid? What do I have that has a lid that's big enough? And I can start to go through my home to see if I have something already. And I don't know why, but just reframing it and pulling it out of, I need this specific thing into this is the list of criteria, I usually can find something at home, or I can find something close enough that gets me by. Yeah, reframing it and also kind of re-summarizing, is it actually a problem? Do I actually need the storage solution? Do I actually need this thing? Or is it a want? Like, is the solution I'm using working? It's just not as pretty. Like that can also help me get through that thought process and curb the spending and like impulsiveness as well. Now, switching gears, I'm going to talk about an area that I personally can struggle in, which is travel sizes and things for my bag and like little mini toiletries. For the purpose of traveling or having, like a hand lotion in your purse or your bag, that is where I can extend what I already have further. So I have travel bottles like this. They're different sizes, they hold different amounts, but you can get stuff like this pretty much anywhere. And I'm not saying you need to go get these, but you may already have something like this at home. So in this one, it's a little bit bigger, and I refill this with my current lotion. So I have the Alba Botanica lotion going right now, one of my favorites for wintertime. And I just keep refilling this. I bring it with me when we travel, and then I also throw this in my handbag. So if I want hand lotion or somebody else I know wants some lotion, I've got it. And when this is empty, I clean it out and then I can refill it again. And that's, doing 2 things. One, I'm using what I have in the big bottle. I just, pump some in here and I'm using that up, which is great. And 2, I'm not constantly repurchasing little hand creams. Now I do have like 1 or 2 specific hand creams. I've got one here in front of me at my desk, something like this that you can't really refill. I'm not perfect, but something like this, I can refill and I can put different products in it. The lotion is just kind of the current example, if you will. Similarly, here is my face cleanser. So I filled this up. I only did like halfway when we went to New York for Thanksgiving. And I still have some left over. So I've been keeping this on my counter and just using this every night until it's done. And then I'll go back to my full-size cleanser. It's the same stuff, but I want to use, what's in here. But we are going out of town for Christmas, so I'm just going to throw this back in. And again, I can use the products I'm used to, the products I know work for my skin or my hair or whatever, and bring those with me without bringing the big sizes. So I think things like this can be overlooked. and consider it a hassle or like, oh, it's just too much work. But I think if you're committed to really using what you have and reducing the need to purchase so many minis of existing products you already have, these can be a great solution. On the same note, this is so random, but Kleenexes. I always have Kleenexes with me. And this is a little travel thing. So it's this little like plastic case. It has a little bit of stickiness here. And then I have 2 envelopes with, Kleenex in here. I have used the Kleenex that this came with up like 2 years ago. And I just refill this with Kleenex on my own. So I take the time to pull the Kleenex out. I fold the tissue up and I stick it in here. I think I've got like 4 or 5 on each side, and it's the nice ones. We buy the nice, tissues with lotion because it matters to us. But I can just refill this. And do you actually need a silk case? No, you could totally use like a Ziploc bag. But again, instead of tossing this and just purchasing more of these, I chose to keep the package that I like so much and refill it with the same tissues over and over again. So just keep that in mind when you're going through kind of anything mini. Think, can I reuse this in any sort of way? Is there a better way that I could prevent having to purchase these little minis in the future? These ones are definitely like small but mighty, and these are pretty much always in my bag. Definitely when I travel, these are with me, and then kind of day to day, depending on how my bag is. Sometimes both those, sometimes just one or the other, but still, bringing my own things from home works. Another thing I've learned about myself is I do best when I don't put everything out all the time. So, for example, bobby pins, hair ties, pens, lip balms, I just bring out some at a time. I have a little container that I keep bobby pins and hair ties in, and when I buy a pack, I'll put maybe like a third or half of them out. And eventually, things snap or you lose them or they just disappear. I don't know, some monster eats them. But it's easier for me to then say, oh, I'm down to 1 hair tie for whatever reason. I know I have extras already. And then I pull out maybe 4 or 5 more, and then I use them until something happens. But it helps me kind of extend what I bought. And for whatever reason, they just seem to last a lot longer. Because I used to be the person that got a pack of hair ties, threw them all in a bag or a little jar or like a little cup or whatever. And then they'd all be gone. And I didn't know what happened, but it seems like I'm losing them a little bit less frequently because I have fewer to keep track of. And so I know, wait a minute, I'm missing 1 or 2. Let me take 30 seconds to look around and see if I can find it. Whereas if I had, 30 of them in there, maybe I wouldn't have taken that time to say, oh, well, I've got plenty in there. Who cares if I lost one or if it's about to get sucked up by the vacuum or whatever, All right, so then the last point for today's video, because we are getting a little long here, is taking care of what you have. So thinking about like clothes as an example, properly folding them and putting them away, hanging them up, taking care of them, per washing instructions, all of those things. I found that especially with clothing, I can say something like, oh, I wish I had a green sweater. I don't have a green sweater. But when I take the time to really put everything away, hang them all up, then I have all these sweaters hung up in front of me, and I've got more sweaters than I could even wear in a full week, and so it just, I don't know, something in that mindfulness of putting things away, taking care of them really helps curb my want to spend. So the same thing with like my makeup. Makeup can get kind of dirty. Taking the time to just wipe everything down, put it away, whether it's in the organizer, in my little everyday basket. My shoes, kind of brushing them off, treating them. I put on like, like waterproof spray onto some of my booties, and just doing those maintenance things has really helped me, I guess, be more in touch with what I have, and I'm touching it and I'm taking care of it and taking time out of my day to do these things. And I think that is also a key part of it, is taking the time to take care of what I have and then thinking, gosh, if I had more, it would take even more time to do all of these proper things. So that has helped me too, just being really intentional about what I have, maintaining it. And unfortunately, that's something that's taken me a while to get to. I can say it, but to really feel it, So I do think I'm really feeling it, and that is something I really want to focus on in the new year. So those are my thoughts, kind of my most recent stream of consciousness on the topic of using what you have. But I just find that if you're looking to save money, if you're looking to be more grateful in your day-to-day life, if you're looking to reduce your consumption. This theme just kind of keeps coming back up of use what you have. So if it hits all these facets of my life, to me, it's worth, diving into. So that's what I've been thinking lately. I would love to hear from you down below in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. What have you been reusing in your life? Yeah, I would love to hear from you down below. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will chat with you in the comment sections below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.